uh, Cavendish Boulevard. He really did seem to own it for a while. Can he possibly reignite when it gets to the Champs-Élysées? It would be fantastic. He has taken a stage win here at stage 7. It was into Fougères. Since then, we've had no pure sprinting stages, declared sprinter stages, until this one. And as you can see, it's anything but, with so much sprinting talent being caught out today by the early climbs that we've had. Nonetheless, massive amount of sprinting points up for grabs when we get to the line. It might be that the teams keep their powder dry, and that's the way it looks at the moment. This is a modest pace with only 15.3 kilometres to go. I think they're all giving each other a lot of respect, Sean, at the moment.
Well, when you get to this point of the race, there's a bit more respect in the peloton. The riders are not as aggressive, and we all understand why. What they've been through to this point with 2 weeks racing, warm conditions, Pyrenees stages, 3 very difficult mountaintop finishes. It calms a lot of guys down, and you can see here on the front of the peloton, compared to what it was the first week of racing, it would be much more aggressive here, and a lot more teams trying to take control on the front of the peloton, and that's the way it's going to be in this final number of kilometres. My apologies, Desmarais, of course, is back in that group with Cavendish. I was thinking he was up here, so he's the French hope, one of the French hopes, not in with a shout here today for go for a stage victory. But Sam Bennett, he's in here. I haven't seen him in the Gruppetto, although I haven't got all the names out of that Gruppetto because they're given 23 riders, and I certainly haven't got everybody. But he has suffered, and he's the last man in general classification, of course, and he's at 2 hours 59 down. So he's a Lantern Rouge of this race. I think he's in here. Will that be a surprise that he will put up a good sprint? Because although I'm afraid that he's suffered a lot, when you see a guy in that position, he has really suffered through the mountain stages.
I think I've got sight of Reinhard Janse van Rensburg actually for MTN Quebecer, and I cannot see lightning strike twice, but they've got a little lead out assembling itself for MTN Quebecer. Stranger things have happened, but I think with the likes of Greipel, the likes of Christophe, and of course Degenkolb all here, I think it's possibly going to be amongst those three. Here's Orica. This is nice to see, Sean.
Yes, well, that was the other rider I had just peeked out here, Michael Matthews. How good is he after struggling for so much from the very beginning of the tour? He had a horrendous start with that huge crash, and it took him days to get back into any sort of full health, and through the mountain stages, if he has recovered, he's another one who we could see that could put up a good sprint. He's capable of winning all sorts of sprints, although the uphill ones, the little uphill sprints, that's where he's really good. And unfortunately for the ones we had in the earlier part of the race, he was very badly injured, so was not able to contest. But Orica Green Edge, as you can see, they've been trying every way, getting men into the breaks. They're also a team which a stage victory would make the tour for them.
Certainly would. So, the Rhone, and of course our destination today. 13 kilometres out, still nobody reaching out. And good to see that Lamprey are also coming and joining the fun right now, Sean. Kimolai for them?
Yes, I think he is the better sprinter. It has to be for Kimolai. I think he's proved in the past in big burn sprints he can do quite well. And they also need Lamprey Merida, a team that has a very difficult tour as well, not got anything out of the race, and it's such a familiar one for a lot of teams who haven't got somebody up in the general classification. In the other classments, nobody there, so a stage win would make the race for them, and it would mean that they come out of a Tour of France. A stage win would be an okay result.
I was led astray. I suspected as much because I thought others may have mentioned it. Norway Day is May the 17th, so whoever led me astray, shame on you. But at least I qualified it. Thank goodness. Didn't have a chance to check. I've got so much data in front of me at the moment, but yes, so apologies if I was led down a wrong one. 12, I still think Christophe's going to win, but anyway, 12 kilometres to go right now. Thanks to all of you who have written in and let me know that Norway Day was in fact May the 17th, some time ago. 11.8 kilometres to go. Chris Froome's up here as well, and as always you can see the GC boys just wanting to stay safe, and safety first, Sean, especially with the technical nature of our approach today.
Well, you have to stay up in the top 15, 20 at this moment, and I think if you're in the top 20 places, we can see here, you know, it's just starting to wind up for this big sprint, still with 11 kilometres to go, and it is going to, you know, just gather pace as we get closer to the finish, and we can see there, you know, the sprinters teams are controlling situation, but also general classification men are staying close because you just want to stay out of danger, and on a transition stage you just cannot drop your attention here and keep focused. And we can see Chris Froome with two Sky teammates in front of him over on the left hand side of our screen at the moment, and that is the case for all the general classification. After doing so much hard work during the Pyrenees stages, you do not want to lose anything on this stage today.
No, you don't. And especially as the most difficult section of the approach comes just before the 3 kilometre mark. So between kilometres 4 and 3 on the countdown clock, of course, top left-hand side of your screen, is where the main approach problems are going to be. The last one, after they've dealt with that, doesn't come until 350 metres from the line. But between kilometres 4 to go and 3 to go, that kilometre is a devil, to be honest, and the pace that they're going to be going through, the GC boys don't want to throw anything away at a moment such as this. 10.5 to go, and here comes Cannondale Garmin. I wonder if Navadauskas has got an option today, Sean.
Well, I think there's a lot of guys you know, thinking they have an option, because we can see there it's not as fast as we would be expecting as we come to the 10 kilometres to go. It's, you know, pretty easier pace, and we know, you know, the reason we're into the race where everybody is starting to suffer, and we can see here, you know, it's the BMC who are taking control at the moment as we go to 10 kilometres. The last time we were here was in 2010. We finished in Bourg-la-Valence, and we remember it was the stage where Marc Renshaw was headbutting in the sprint and was disqualified at the end of the day. And in the time before that, in 96, it was a Colombian who won it, Chipe Gonzalez. He won from a long breakaway.
No breakaway today, but somebody's going to be breaking bread at the dinner table with a bottle of champagne to one side. Who's it going to be? BMC just again in nursing mode at the moment, and they've got plenty to look after, notably TJ Van Garderen, of course, but they've also got Danny Oss and Greg Van Avermaet who can go well, and we have seen them do so. Of course, that win in Rodez for Van Avermaet ahead of Peter Sagan has given us some great confidence. Helicopter in danger of blowing these two chaps off the mount, as you can see. You can also see the vines down there from the Côte d'Or region. Actually, I think that's a little bit further away, but nonetheless, they obviously grow some of the stuff in this part of the world as well. Big turn. So we're on a highway. We're coming under this little bridge, another roundabout, of which we have a whole sequence of them. We haven't actually crossed the river just yet, but we are about to, and it's then when all hell is going to break loose, and these guys want to be in a decent position. Lots of road to play with, so you can stay safe. If you want to put in a bit of extra energy right now, then now's the time to do it, because you can move up rather safely. Everybody wants to mob the road, and there's a lot of options being taken, as you can see. Lotto Soudal in there, mostly red, coming up to the red and black of BMC up towards the front. Just reassembling themselves, Cannondale Garmin, although Ryder Ejidal is at the back here. But up towards the front, they have got Raimundas Navadauskas. Giant are getting in train order, and that bodes very well for John Degenkolb today. 8.2 kilometres to go. So they will cross the river in about 1,100 metres time, those at the front. But look at how the peloton is squozen by these roundabouts, and there is a shortest way through, but the alternative gives you more room or road to play with. It's starting to look a bit ragged behind, Sean, as the road and the approach starts to have an impact.
Well, I think it's ragged behind because the riders are just suffering, and you know, they're pretty much at the end of their energy, and we can see there, you know, they're just fighting to stay in contact. We see Tommy Voeckler very much to the rear now, and bike lengths appearing between the riders, and they're just going to cling on, and if it gets too difficult, I think we will see riders, you know, just sitting up and riding in the last number of kilometres at an easier pace. BMC setting a very strong pace here, but it's only for TJ Van Garderen to keep him out of danger. And Van Garderen, of course, yesterday he did slip in the general classification from second overall down to third, but I don't see anybody from BMC capable of doing anything in a bunch sprint.
Michael Matthews has given his team the pass, and I'm not surprised, because that's the to go backwards, I should say. But he himself is tagging on to the back of BMC and staying close to the wheel of Michael Matthews. And look at that, coming up on the right-hand side of the road. So left-hand side of your picture is Team Katusha. They're guiding in Christoph right now. And this gorgeous river, as you can see, the temperature a little bit more moderate today. No real wind to speak of. 33 Celsius. It will feel warm. They have to get the GC Boys teams to that 3 kilometre to go marker, and it's time to roll early for Bora Argonne. And are they gone? Not quite. As you can see, taking a shorter cut through this. Good push, and good push indeed. It's not Sam Bennett, is it?
No, it's Jan Barta.
Sorry, Jan Barta, getting in a garble here. 6.5 kilometres to go. Jan Barta showing a clean pair of bright orange shoes to the pack right now, but it is BMC, and just behind them it is Lotto Soudal as well. Michael Matthews just tagging on to the back wheel of Andre Greipel. Here's the river crossing we were telling you about. They'll take a right-hander after this. Here they come, making that big turn, and it is a narrowed road for them, I've got to say. They've forced them over to one side of it. Here's the world champion, Kwiatkowski, just coming to the fore as well, just guiding everybody in, and it looks like, well, it's obviously a band. I'm not quite sure about the outfits. Maybe another day. No, we're going to have to dwell on it. Thank you. 5.8 to go. Enough of the music already. Here we are. This is the tune that we want to dance to right now. It's about the sprint. 5.7 kilometres to go. Kwiatkowski pulls off. BMC guiding in, and all the principals are here. And there is Navadauskas with his guide. I'm not sure who's leading him in for Team Cannondale-Garmin, just for the time being. 5.5 to go. Lots of grizzled looking faces right now. Nobody is fresh after the sort of Tour de France that we've had so far, and Giant just coming up alongside Lotto, who trail BMC at the moment.
Yes, we can see it's BMC still taking control, and that's something normally you do not see when you get close to 5 kilometres to go. It's the sprinters teams who just dominate on the front of the peloton when it's a flat running like this. But of course, today being a difficult day, we've had a lot of difficult racing, and the sprinters teams are definitely holding off. And we can see Lotto Soudal there just waiting. Greipel have 3 or 4 men in front of him, and they're just going to wait as long as possible, and that's going to be important today. If you take it up too early, you run out of men in the in the final 500, 600 metres too early to be on the front. That will be the wrong way to go about it, and we can see Lotto holding off as long as possible.
Holding off as long as possible, and just trying to hold a line as well. Looks like Luke Rowe just trying to batter his way through at the moment for Team Sky. There is Cofidis also joining the fun today. Soup's not here, but they've got some other options. They had a big lead-out train, of course, for Bouhanni, who's not, of course, no longer part of this Tour de France. Cofidis making a nuisance of themselves almost by mobbing the left-hand side of the road. 4.4 to go. Now, clever stuff by Cofidis, frankly, because you've got to be in a decent position at this next sequence. A lot of other teams should know about this, but I'm not sure how much of a preview they have had. And Christoph looks like he's out of position at the moment, is fighting to find some space. And the green jersey of Sagan has also moved up here. He might have to go freestyle as well. This could be absolutely enthralling for him as the road opens up dead centre, almost beckoning Sagan to turn it on. Does not want to go for it just yet as we peel and look further back down the line. And Rainer Jensen van Rensburg is also in here for MTN Quebec, but this is where Giants start to play their hand. 3.8 to go. This is that sequence we were telling you about. There will be a best route through this, but it's anybody's guess. It's like a Rubik's Cube trying to figure this one out, to be honest, because there are so many twists and turns. We can't tell you whether it's left, centre or right of the road that is best placed to be. For the time being, BMC are at least on the front as they come up this little rise, it'll flatten out, and then we will be going for this. They're starting to mix it up, Sean.
Yes, we can see they're starting to hit it on the front, and it's the Latics Quick Step rider is hitting on here, and it looks like it's this man we have out in front, Trentin, once again.
Trentin just can't help himself. And, I'm just wondering whether it is, to be honest. But the chase is on. Well, Julien Vermaat has got a great chance to actually bid for glory at the moment, because it is this nasty sequence. As we said, so many twists and turns. It doesn't unwind for another 100 metres, and he is gone. Now, have they not respected him enough? Look at them, suddenly spread wide across the road. Now, this is where it's relatively straight, and he can pick it up. It's Stibar, in fact. 2.9, apologies for that. 55 k's an hour, and they'll start to pick it up, but the camera waits and waits and waits, and so do they. And here comes Christophe Katusha team spearing up and through the centre, and likewise I'm looking at MTN Quebec also just thinking about joining the fun. 2.6 to go. He's up there, but still being given a lot of leash, and he may well whip them with it. Still nobody's going for it. Well, Reinhard Janse van Rensburg just getting onto the back, as you can see, of Lotto Soudal. It's a great place to be. A lot of riders would love to be there. They'd love to be out front as well. Still nobody reaches. 2.3 to go. Remember, it's 350 metres from the line where this really, really counts. You've got to be tight on the right-hand side, and that's exactly where Peter Sagan is, just behind Reinhard van Rensburg of MTN Quebec in his black and white stripes. So watch out for the green jersey of Sagan. Can he get glory today? Has he, despite being in the break, kept something in reserve for this? I know many of you will be hoping that that is indeed the case, and still they churn into this one. Tozato's trying to get up and offer a little bit of help, and here come Katusha, dead centre. Still they don't go for it. 1.8 kilometres to go right now. He's a couple of 100 metres only ahead of the pack, and they're starting to get engaged and interested, and it is Europcar that are first, I think, to put in a bit of extra pace. Not quite, and it's Katusha, and working of course for Christophe, and they're going to mob it, and I think they're going to hit at least the 500 mark first, unless somebody moves. To the first man who's tempted to do so is Peter Sagan. Well, this is fine work, I've got to say, and Navadauskas is being led into a good place as well by Cannondale Garmin in their green and black. They open up, just disengage slightly as a duo. And it is, in fact, Lotto Soudal that come through in the red. Still everyone holding back. They're waiting. Now, it looks like Sagan is going to ride on the back of the Katusha train of Christophe, and we'll see whether that's the case. Michael Matthews is hovering here. This could be a fantastic fillip for him and his team, Orica Green Edge, who've suffered so many injuries. Greipel now decides that he's going to mob it and almost go shoulder to shoulder as Bora go again.
Yes, well, we can see there it's just a struggle to get the line. A lot of riders, struggling to keep the pace going. As we can see, it's Bora who take it up, but Armindo
Fonseca, I think it is, that's just hit out right now, and just bedding in behind them is Katusha, and finally they decide to add just a little bit of pace. Greipel's wise to it, so is Sagan, so is Degenkolb, and Matthews. There is, of course, as well, Edvald Bosenhagen leading in Reinhard Janse van Rensburg, and here come Cofidis not to miss out. They perhaps know this road very well indeed. Tightest line through the 350-metre mark is the best place to be, and everyone knows it. So it's going to be a right-hand turn any moment now. Katusha are going to take it first.
Yes, well, Katusha is in control, but again, we can see here it's not the best place to be. Still with 400 metres to go, we have a lot of riders very much in contention as we go into this final stretch.
Here we go then, that's the big turn, and now it's time to open up. Reinhard Rensburg goes for it first. He's looking to lead in Bosenhagen, but doesn't do so, and it's Greipel that picks it up. Degenkolb's on his case. There goes Christophe as well. And Coquart's also, he's dropped his chain. Coquart's gone. Hand goes up. Hampers other people. Oh, there's the line. And it's Greipel ahead of Christophe, I believe. Right at it. And Sagan third on the day. Another top 5 for him, but no victory, I'm afraid. My goodness, check it out from the aerial view. Here you go, Sean.
Yes, we could see here Greipel takes it up. Looked like that Degenkolb was going to come over him, but on the overhead shot we could see there was always that half bike length to a bike length between them, with Christophe third, Sagan fourth.